Playing with Power MTG. Powerful cards, powerful formats. Be sure to check out Dragon Shield for all of the best accessories to protect your decks. TCG Player for cards at great prices while supporting local game stores. And Patreon, where you get awesome benefits for your direct support. We are back for another Legacy gameplay video. If you enjoy our videos, please subscribe to our channel. It only takes a second, costs nothing to do, and goes such a long way to help us out. If you'd like to help us financially, consider signing up to our Patreon, buying some merchandise, or purchasing from the TCG Player links in the description below. Now, let's start out by showcasing our fighters this evening. First, we have Mike piloting Sultai Hogaak. This deck seeks to mill a lot of cards into the graveyard and use those synergies to overwhelm opponents. Mike's opening hand contains an Altar of Dementia, Hedron Crab, Gravecrawler, Verdant Catacombs, Polluted Delta, Misty Rainforest, and his London Mulligan is a Bloodghast. Next, we have Adam piloting Enchantress. This deck seeks to control the board with enchantments while drawing extra cards through Enchantress effects. Adam's opening hand contains an Elephant Grass, 2 Sithis Harvest Hand, 2 Forest, Misty Rainforest, and his London Mulligan is a Doomwake Giant. Without further ado, let's begin this vague, vacant, valiant verbal venture. Adam wins the Biggest Loser competition and gets to start us off. Adam plays a Forest for turn. He passes. Mike draws and plays a Misty Rainforest. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up an Underground Sea onto the battlefield. He casts Hedron Crab. Mike passes. Adam draws and plays a Misty Rainforest as well. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up a Savannah onto the battlefield. He casts Sithis, Harvest Hand. Adam ends his turn. Mike draws and casts another Hedron Crab. He plays a Polluted Delta for turn. Both Hedron Crabs trigger and Mike mills 6. He cracks his Polluted Delta, pays a life, and fetches up an Underground Sea onto the battlefield. Bloodghast triggers, which he milled recently, and Mike returns it to the battlefield. Both Crabs trigger and Mike mills an additional 6. He flashes back Cabal Therapy from his graveyard, sacrificing his Bloodghast, naming Living Wish. Adam reveals his hand, has no Living Wishes in his hand, so he discards nothing. Mike casts Gravecrawler. Mike ends his turn. Adam draws and casts Elephant Grass. Sithis triggers, Adam gains a life and draws a card. He plays a Misty Rainforest and gives the turn back to Mike. Mike draws and plays a Verdant Catacombs. Bloodghast triggers and Mike returns it to the battlefield. Both Hedron Crabs trigger and Mike mills 6. He cracks Verdant Catacombs, pays a life, and fetches up a Bayou onto the battlefield. Both Crabs trigger and Mike mills an additional 6. He convokes 4 and delves 3 to cast Hogaak, a Risen Necropolis from his graveyard. He casts Altar of Dementia. He sacrifices Hogaak to the altar and mills 8, which includes 2 Bridge from Below. He sacrifices his Bloodghast to the altar. Both Bridge from Below's trigger and Mike creates 2 2/2 zombies and then Mike mills 2. He sacrifices Gravecrawler to Altar of Dementia, creating 2 more zombies and milling 2, including another Bridge from Below. He sacks Hedron Crab to the altar, creating 3 zombies and milling nothing. He sacks his other crab, creating 3 more zombies. He sacks a zombie, milling 2, including Vengevine. He convokes 2, tapping 2 zombies, and delves 5 to cast Hogaak from his graveyard. 4 Vengevines trigger in his graveyard, and he returns all 4 to the battlefield. He sacrifices a Vengevine to the altar, creating 3 zombies and milling 4. He sacrifices one of his zombies to the altar and mills Adam for 2 this time. He does it again, milling Adam for another 2. He sacks Vengevine, milling Adam for 4, creating 3 more zombies through Bridge from Below. He sacks another Vengevine, milling Adam for 4 and creating 3 more zombies. He sacks Hogaak, milling Adam for 8, creating 3 more zombies. He convokes 4 zombies and delves 2 to cast Hogaak from his graveyard. He sacks it to the altar, milling Adam for 8, creating 3 zombies. He convokes 2 and delves 5 to cast Hogaak from his graveyard. He sacks Hogaak to the altar again, milling Adam for 8 and creating 3 more zombies. He convokes 2 zombies and delves 5 to recast Hogaak from his graveyard. He sacks Hogaak again, milling Adam for 8, creating 3 zombies. He sacks 3 zombies, milling Adam for the last 6 in his graveyard. With Adam finally milled out, Mike passes. Adam attempts to draw from an empty library and loses the game. Before game 2, Adam moves the sideboard. He cuts Enchantress's Presence, Destiny Spinner, Muri's Guile, Eidolon of Blossoms, and 2 Doomwake Giants. He puts in 2 Leyline of the Void to stop Mike's graveyard strategies, 2 Authority of the Consoles to stop Mike's ability to convoke Hogaak, a Collector Oof to stop Altar of Dementia, and an Emrakul the Aeon's Torn to prevent himself from being milled out. Mike also moves the sideboard. He removes a Bloodghast, Careful Study, Hedron Crab, Putrid Imp, and Carrion Feeder. He puts in 4 Force of Vigors to stop Inevitable Leylines and Rest in Peace, which will always come in game 2, and an Abrupt Decay to deal with Elephant Grass and other problem permanents. In this game, Adam's opening hand contains a Savannah, Windswept Heath, Abrupt Decay, Wild Growth, 2 Leyline of the Voids, and his London Mulligan is a Forest. In this game, Mike's opening hand contains a Force of Vigor, Gravecrawler, Stitcher's Supplier, Cabal Therapy, 2 Careful Studies, and a Snow-Covered Swamp. And Adam gets to start us off. But Adam has a pre-game action and puts 2 Leyline of the Voids onto the battlefield. Mike stares blankly, and Adam moves to his first turn. Adam plays a Savannah for turn. He casts Wild Growth. Adam passes. Mike draws and plays a Snow-Covered Swamp for turn. He casts Gravecrawler. Mike passes back to Adam. Adam draws and plays a Windswept Heath. He passes. Mike draws and moves to combat. He attacks Adam with Gravecrawler. Adam takes it, and in his second main phase, Mike casts another Gravecrawler. Mike passes. At the end of Mike's turn, Adam cracks his Windswept Heath, pays a life, and fetches up a Bayou onto the battlefield. Adam draws and casts Argothian Enchantress. He casts Wild Growth. Enchantress triggers and Adam draws. He plays a Wooded Foothills for turn. Adam passes to Mike. At the end of Adam's turn, Mike casts Force of Vigor for its alternate cost, exiling Dryad Arbor, which is green, destroying both of Adam's ley lines. Mike draws and casts Stitcher's Supplier. It enters and Mike mills 3. He moves to combat and attacks Adam with both Gravecrawlers. Adam takes it and Mike passes the turn. At the end of Mike's turn, Adam cracks his Wooded Foothills, pays a life, and fetches up a Forest onto the battlefield. Adam draws and casts Authority of the Consuls. Argothian Enchantress triggers and Adam draws. He casts Elephant Grass, drawing from Enchantress again. Adam, sitting in a better spot, passes back to Mike. Mike draws and casts Cabal Therapy. It resolves, Mike names Emrakul, Adam reveals his hand, which doesn't contain Emrakul. He sacrifices Stitcher's Supplier to flash back Cabal Therapy from his graveyard. Supplier triggers and Mike mills 3. Therapy resolves, Mike names Elephant Grass this time, Adam reveals his hand and discards it. Mike ends his turn. During his upkeep, Adam pays to keep his Elephant Grass. He draws and plays a Forest. Adam passes. Mike draws and plays an Underground Sea. He casts Careful Study. He draws 2 and discards 2. Mike ends his turn. During his upkeep, Adam pays to keep his Elephant Grass. He draws and plays another Forest. Adam ends his turn. Mike draws and casts a Hedron Crab. It enters tapped through Authority of the Consuls and Adam gains 1 life. He plays a Polluted Delta for turn. Hedron Crab triggers and Mike mills 3. He cracks his Polluted Delta and pays a life. In response, Adam casts Abrupt Decay, destroying Hedron Crab. Then Mike fetches up an Underground Sea onto the battlefield. Bloodghast triggers and enters the battlefield tapped from the graveyard, and Adam gains a life. He casts Careful Study. He draws 2 and discards 2. Mike casts Stitcher's Supplier. Vengevine triggers and enters the battlefield from the graveyard tapped. Adam gains 1, then Stitcher's Supplier resolves, enters tapped, and Adam gains another 1. Supplier triggers and Mike mills 3. Mike ends his turn. During his upkeep, Adam pays to keep his Elephant Grass. He draws, takes no actions, and passes the turn. Mike draws and moves to combat. He attacks Adam with Vengevine, paying 2 for Elephant Grass. Adam takes it, and in his second main phase, Mike casts Hedron Crab. It enters tapped, and Adam gains a life. Mike passes back to Adam. At the end of Mike's turn, Adam casts Abrupt Decay, destroying Mike's Hedron Crab. Bridge from Below triggers, Mike creates a 2/2 zombie into play tapped, and Adam gains a life. During his upkeep, Adam pays to keep his Elephant Grass. He draws and casts Sithis, Harvest Hand. Enchantress triggers, and Adam draws. He plays a Verdant Catacombs and passes back to Mike. Mike draws and moves to combat. He attacks Adam with Vengevine, paying 2 for Elephant Grass. Adam takes it, and Mike passes. At the end of Mike's turn, Adam cracks his Verdant Catacombs, pays a life, and fetches up a Forest onto the battlefield. During his upkeep, Adam pays to keep his Elephant Grass. He draws and casts Elephant Grass. Both Enchantress trigger, and Adam draws 2 and gains a life. He plays a Forest for turn. Adam passes. Mike draws and plays a Misty Rainforest for turn. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up a nothing, failing to find, which is super unfortunate. Unfortunately locked out due to Elephant Grass, Mike has to pass the turn. During his upkeep, Adam pays to keep both of his Elephant Grass. He draws and plays a Forest. He casts another Elephant Grass. Mike, seeing himself locked out, losing his Force of Vigors to mill, and no avenue to victory anytime soon, Mike concedes the game. Before Game 3, Mike moves the sideboard. He cuts Careful Study and adds in an Assassin's Trophy to better deal with Adam's problem permanents. Adam has no sideboard changes. In this game, Mike's opening hand contains an Assassin's Trophy, Force of Vigor, Stitcher's Supplier, Altar of Dementia, Hedron Crab, and 2 Misty Rainforest. In this game, Adam's opening hand contains a Sithis, Harvest Hand, Collector Oof, Abrupt Decay, Elephant Grass, Wild Growth, Wooded Foothills, and a Forest. And Mike gets to start us off. Mike plays a Misty Rainforest. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up an Underground Sea onto the battlefield. He casts Stitcher's Supplier. It enters, and Mike mills 3. He flashes back Cabal Therapy, which he just milled, sacrificing Stitcher Supplier. Supplier triggers, and Mike mills another 3. Therapy resolves, Mike names Elephant Grass, Adam reveals his hand, and then discards it. Mike passes the turn. Adam draws and plays a Wooded Foothills for turn. He cracks it, pays a life, and fetches up a Savannah onto the battlefield. He casts Authority of the Consoles. Adam passes. Mike draws and casts Hedron Crab. It enters tapped, and Adam gains a life. He plays a Verdant Catacombs for turn. Bloodghast triggers and enters the battlefield tapped, with Adam gaining another 1. Hedron Crab triggers, and Mike mills 3. He cracks Verdant Catacombs, pays a life, and fetches up a Bayou onto the battlefield. Crab triggers, and Mike mills 3, including Hogaak and Bridge from Below. Mike ends his turn. Adam draws and plays a Forest. He casts Sithis, Harvest Hand. Adam passes. At the end of Adam's turn, Mike casts Force of Vigor for its alternate cost, exiling Assassin's Trophy and destroying Adam's Sithis and Authority of the Consoles. Bridge from Below triggers in Mike's graveyard, and he exiles it. Mike draws and plays a Polluted Delta. Crab triggers, and Mike mills 3. He cracks Polluted Delta, pays a life, and fetches up a Bayou onto the battlefield. Crab triggers, and Mike mills 3. He convokes 2 and delves 5 to cast Hogaak from his graveyard. He casts Altar of Dementia. He sacrifices Hogaak to the altar, milling himself for 8, including a Bridge from Below. He sacks Bloodghast to altar, milling 2 and creating a 2/2 zombie through Bridge. He sacks his other Bloodghast, milling 2 and creating another 2/2 zombie. He convokes 2 and delves 5 and casts Hogaak from his graveyard. All 3 Vengevines trigger and enter the battlefield from his graveyard. He flashes back Cabal Therapy from his graveyard, sacrificing Hedron Crab. Bridge from Below triggers, and Mike creates a zombie. Therapy resolves, Mike names Elephant Grass, Adam reveals his hand, which doesn't contain Elephant Grass. He casts Gravecrawler from his graveyard. He moves to combat and attacks Adam with 3 Vengevines. Adam takes it, and Mike passes the turn. Adam draws, sees he's finished, and concedes the game. Ladies and gentlemen, what a match. Congrats to Mike on his win. In Game 1, Mike's deck was doing all kinds of crazy synergistic things, which was more than Adam's deck could handle. In Game 2, sideboards became so relevant, as Adam's stacked pieces and Mike's answers were creating a real puzzle for each player to solve. In Game 3, Mike's removal gave him what he needed to let his deck get rolling and defeat Adam in the end. Well, that about wraps it up for this episode. What did you think the most valuable card was in this match? Was it Bridge from Below, Elephant Grass, Hogaak, or something else? Let us know in the comments below. If you like this Legacy video, consider sharing it with a friend, hitting the like button, subscribe to our channel, and ring the bell to be notified whenever we put out more videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.